I had a couple more bones to pick with you.
Okay, well, let's go quickly through those bones.
Okay. And just if you start formulating questions in your head. Some years, actually, 1994, was it? Or 1996, there was this rock in Antarctica, a meteorite discovered, ALH 84001, which had tantalizing evidence. By the way, that rock was from Mars, one of the tonnage of rocks that we know are out there. And there was evidence in one of the nooks of that rock for possible life, traceable not to Earth but from Mars. And so the evidence was very circumstantial but interesting nonetheless. There was chemistry there that could only happen in the presence of oxygen, and there was chemistry there occupying a similar spot that could happen only in the absence of oxygen. Now you might say, well, who cares? Well, life is just such a machine. When you breathe in oxygen, you oxygenate the hemoglobin. That oxygen gets used for your metabolism, and it goes back without the oxygen. In your same body, you have oxygenating and deoxygenating forces operating within you. So life does it for free. If you don't appeal to life, you'd have to have the rock hang out over here for a while and then roll down a cliff and go anaerobic for a while. You'd have to sort of patch it together. So it was all the news, page one story. And they even had an electron microscope photo of what looked like an itty-bitty worm. It had little segments on it. It was intriguing. That was not the lead evidence of the authors. It was just kind of interesting. It was about 1/10 the size of like the smallest worms on Earth, but interesting nonetheless. I'm invited to comment on this. In fact, it was Charlie Rose. He had 4 people. I'm the astrophysicist. They had a biologist. They had a philosopher. And the picture of the worm comes up. The biologist, who was piped in by a screen, said, "That can't possibly be life." So I said, wow, what have I missed? So tell me, sir, why is that good? Oh, because the smallest life on Earth is 10 times that size. And I'm still waiting for him to give me the reason why it can't be life. Then I paused and reflected and said, well, that is the reason he's giving me, that it can't be life. His comparison with life on Earth. And then I said, last I checked, we're talking about a rock from Mars. Why are you using Earth to constrain your capacity to think about what exists out there? My question to you, are biologists closed-minded or open-minded about what is possible in terms of biology in this universe? Because at the end of the day, you go behind closed doors and you confess to yourselves that you only have a data sample of 1, because all life on Earth has common DNA.
Yeah, well, he was being
closed-minded. And most any other sciences, we would say that's not. How do you make science out of a sample of 1?
No, that's right. He was being closed-minded, no question about it, because he was using his experience of life on this planet to make that generalization. On the other hand, one could make such a statement by using the laws of physics, and you could say that there are certain things that wouldn't work for physical reasons. I mean, I'm not saying that a tiny worm wouldn't work for physical reasons, but I could imagine somebody making an argument that said you cannot have, for example, maybe there's a certain minimum size of eye that could form an image for purely physical reasons. And that would be a good reason why one might.
And I'm there all the way. Yeah. It's just that he cited Earth as his measure of what is possible.
Well, he was just wrong.
Okay. Okay. You don't align yourself with his
I don't know who it was,
but that was the biggest thing I had to get off my chest here.
Okay.